Today I'm going to talk to you about the great Austrian toll scam and why you should be very careful as a motorhomer when you go to Austria and pay very close attention to their rules and regulations. Before we start, let me just be absolutely clear that I advocate the paying of tolls, the abiding by laws, and sticking to the rules. I think as motorhomers, we use the roads in Europe extensively, and I find no problem in paying tolls. There are people who prefer not to pay tolls, but then they take alternative routes, which is equally fair. I do not promote the dodging of tolls or not paying tolls or trying to get out of it. As a motorhomer, you need to be very careful about going into Austria. They are notorious for pulling over motorhomes and weighing them down to the gram and fining you for being overweight. But equally more important, they have a very complicated toll system which is seriously difficult to navigate, and I need you to not fall into that same trap as that I did twice now. The first thing to notice is that I'm calling it a scam because it is a scam in my opinion. I do not think ASFINAG, or however you pronounce that, or the Austrian government has a view of helping motorists to pass through Austria. They are definitely out there to catch you. I've experienced this firsthand now twice, and their toll police, as they call themselves, are intimidating. They are pushy. They don't really care about the website. They don't care about how complicated things are. They're not there to help you. They are absolutely there to fine you for any mistake that you may make. The first thing to notice is that if your motorhome is up to 3.5 tons or under, then you just need a vignette, which you can get at the any entry point. I still think that you may have to show them your documents because they charge less for certain classes of Euro emissions. But there is a bit of a common problem now that most motorhomes now, or the newer motorhomes, are slightly above 3.5. Certainly all of the German motorhomes, like mine being a Bürstner, is now at 3.85 or even 4.2 tons. And so for that type of weight, you need to get a Go box. And this little device clips into your windscreen in the front. And what's difficult about this is that you have to go to a point of sale, provide all your documents to prove what Euro emission you are. You get a very lengthy, reams and reams of documents. And what you have to be very careful about is right at the end, it will say to you, oh, you've got till a certain date to upload proof of your Euro emission to their website. Now, previous motorhome, I did not see that, and I got fined afterwards in England, and I paid the fine. So in this motorhome, I wanted to be sure that I get it all correct, and I went through the stages of applying online at the various portals. And this is the other thing to remember, there are multiple portals where you can do this. You can go to asfinac.at or go-directmore.at. This is one of the confusing parts. This website itself is very complicated to maneuver. Communications back to you is in German, even the PDF attachments. Sometimes the support will answer in English, but most of the times it is in German, which is not a problem because you can translate it. But some of the actions you have to follow, they are not very clear and they are very difficult to navigate. This video is not going to be a tutorial on how to navigate that because it is very complex. But the steps roughly are that you create yourself an account, you create your vehicles. You cannot upload proof of documentation until you actually use the vehicle in Austria. What will happen though is they'll give you a barcode for the first time, which you then take to the first point of sale. They scan it, they give you this Go box, they charge it to an account online, you don't have to pay anything then. And then they want you to upload the documents. Despite the fact that you've shown the documents to this person at the kiosk, they still want you to upload it. I did those steps thoroughly in September of last year. I went through Austria on the way back, and I got an invoice afterwards. I paid the tolls, and all was fine. So when I set off again in early December and I passed through, I was very surprised to be pulled over. But I did notice my Go box making a unusual for beeping noise, and I thought, fine, I'll just log into the portal to check, at my first stop, what is wrong. But these guys did not accept that. They stopped me about 60 kilometers in from the Austrian border, despite the fact that their own rules say that you have 5 hours or 100 kilometers to sort out any issues with a wrong go box. They were very pushy. They were not interested in my online portal. They made a few jokes between themselves about how they're going to find me because I can understand the German, and they went ahead and find me right there next to the road at 240 euros once again. I lodged a complaint with them, and all they're saying is, no, it's being upheld because I did not upload the documents, which I did, but they actually send you a message back in the portal to say you then need to go and show it to the nearest point once again. I'm calling it a scam because I do think that it is it's a coordinated effort. Really, is just that's the only way I can experience it, between the toll police, between the portals, between ASFINAC, to make it as complicated as possible. B, to try and catch you. That is their main job, is to try and catch you. Their main job is not to assist you as a tourist or to assist you in getting through the system or to work with you. Again, I try to make a point to the officers that I'm law-abiding. I've got an account. I've got the Go box. My documents are correct. If they have an issue with my documents, fine, I can correct it. He had nothing of that. He just wanted to find me. I find that a very old school, sort of 1960s, 1970s type approach to policing. It's not in line with what I experience in Hungary, in Bulgaria, even in other markets where you have to pay a toll or get some sort of vignettes or get a sticker. It's really not user friendly at all. So be very, very careful when you go to Austria. Avoid this scam. Make sure that your paperwork is in order. And the best I can say is just go to the first toll box at all times, stand in the queue, insist that you have everything in order. And when you do need a go box, make sure that when it passes through the tolls, it only makes one beep and not two or three or four, because that is a warning sign. If it does that, go to the first place and stop. And the other thing I can say is record everything, write it all down, make sure you have all your documentation with you, and travel safe. But enjoy Austria. I mean, Austria is a great place to go through, except of this issue of the toll police. So travel safe and enjoy the roads. Bye.